hosts. I've been here for all 75, but you guys have only been here for about 20, maybe. And the show works better when you've got some banter. So hopefully,
bounce off.
even though we do get along when we leave the studio, yeah, there's a little anger, but no more than you'd have with anybody in your family, I would say. So I don't know.
We're families.
So. Well, yeah.
You are family. So, yeah. Kind of works out for you. All right, Todd and Virgens. We actually come in Virgens way down there. What's up, Virgens? Anyway, I was wondering why Jason says he hates baseball, yet wears jerseys and speaks with knowledge about the game. Can we gather that he also likes soccer too, then? Wow. Okay, I will admit that I have worn a soccer jersey on here a time or two, but I think you'll all agree those soccer jerseys were UVM. And I work there, and they pay the bills, so I tend to support that a little bit. I do dislike baseball, but when I say that, I guess I dislike it because it's the worst of the major four sports. Because when I say sports, let's be honest, it comes down to those major four. And I shouldn't even have to tell you what they are, because you know.
Basketball.
All the other ones don't matter. No, basketball is one, and it's the worst of the four. It's the worst of the four sports. It's the most boring one. But I'm gonna follow it because it's really all there is in the summertime. And baseball got killed a lot for me, of course, when they took the Expos. I've said that on the show a number of times.
All right.
And because of the fact that only the rich teams survive, baseball just isn't as interesting because it's always the same teams with their money, and it's not good. But basically,
you have your resurgent teams.
I want to like baseball, but it won't let me like it, I guess would be the best way to answer that question.
So is that the same to be said about soccer?
No, soccer, I hate soccer. It's a boring sport. I likened it a little bit to sex the other day because it's kind of fun to play, but you don't really want to watch other people do it. I mean, and it should be done safely with shin guards, by the way. So anyway, next mail comes from Lisa in Winooski. She says, I was wondering if Kyle really feels the way about certain topics on the show. Sometimes he's so outlandish, I think he simply does it for the show. I think we probably already addressed this one, but it's your question.
I really do get pretty crazy sometimes. Like, I'll throw a team out there or a name, and hey, I gotta say, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn as Piche would put it, but sometimes I'm right on these things. So, sometimes I go out there and sometimes I get it done. So, I mean, no, what I believe is what I say on the show. I don't just make stuff up.
People go out on a limb sometimes, and then when the upset happens, they're right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, sometimes I'll pick a team or whatever, and I won't be completely behind them. But I mean, normally I'm saying what I believe to be true on the show because I wouldn't make it up for.
Pick the Spurs at the beginning of the NBA playoffs, and you pick the Colts at the beginning of the NFL playoffs.
Hey, and the Phillies are a half a game out of the wild card. And Cleveland is one game out of the NL Central.
And sadly, the Cardinals are only 4 games behind, despite having a really, really awful record in the Central. If you're keeping up with that wannabe race,
it's never a race there. Cardinals are
this one's coming at you, middle guy.
All right, middle guy.
Thomas in Burlington says, I thought it was great of Josh to stand up for Barry Bonds the other day. The guy has not been proven to have done anything wrong. Legally, he is the best home run hitter of all time. Innocent until proven guilty. Not so in America. Too bad for Barry. The guy giving you props for sticking up for Barry.
Well,
last week.
There's a major reason that I myself have it in me to stick up for Barry Bonds, and no matter what they do and whatever uniform he goes into the Hall of Fame, if he ever gets in, he was a Pirate first. The Pirates are my team. He was one of the killer bees back with Bobby Bonilla back in the day, and Barry Bonds has done a lot of things. He's hit a lot of home runs. If he gets in, great. If he doesn't, it's just another one of those guys you'll remember.
Well, see, I would tend to go the other way on this. Once a guy leaves my team, I don't like it.
Wow, no one saw that coming. All right. Helen in Williston says, oftentimes I feel that the guy on the left talks too much, that's me, and makes little of what the brothers say. Their opinion means something too. Perhaps you should be more open to all views. I think we kind of touched on this earlier. These guys are nodding their heads, but apparently I'm the host of the show.
Yeah,
so
I would say so.
Whatever. I kind of, I've been here for 75 shows. I think I'm technically down as a director.
Yeah.
Whatever. So yeah, I do kind of tend to lead us in the way of things. And yeah, I'll shake my head or go like this when these guys say something crazy. But just because they don't react when I say something crazy, that doesn't mean they're not thinking the same thing. But
he likes Javon Walker. Come on. I mean, honestly, Javon Walker, he ain't nothing.
See, and now he's trying to start. He's trying to start something because he's trying to make the show a little better. So he just brought that up. But see, sometimes we do that, but we know that obviously Javon Walker is good. So sometimes it's not even worth discussing. And if you think that means I'm belittling his opinion, well, I am.
Because he's right.
All right, last one I got down here on paper, and I apologize. There were a few more, but I missed. There was a big, long story. But anyway, last one I've got down here. Dan in Heinsberg writes, I was wondering if any of you joined the masses who called in sick on the Madden holiday yesterday. Furthermore, I was wondering if Kyle cries when he loses games. He looks like the kind of guy who would become so enraged that he would spew obscenities while checking the trajectory of a PS2 controller out the nearest window. Would you like to field the question?
This guy's good.
Oh, God. Do I know this guy? Have we played a game before? Oh, my God. If that wasn't
you and I
dead
have played
on.
2 games. You guys, we've played 2 games, and I beat you once, and you beat me the other time.
Yes.
You didn't cry then, but you are watering up a little.
Oh, my God. This is
don't know what that's
fantastic.
about.
How does this guy know me? Yes.
But the new Madden game.
I actually have the PS3 now, so I did go to the Midnight Madden the other night. I do believe that I got the first copy of Madden 08 in America, unofficially. Anyway, but no, yeah, I've lost games, and many controllers have hit either the floor or the wall several times. Cried when I lost a game. No. Been pretty pissed and spewed extremities? Yes. Several right at this guy here a couple times. So some pretty awful things. I won't get into what I've said. And he's my brother, so you can imagine about somebody else. How I got into Madden obviously is because I loved football and really young I started playing. But the one thing that I think I remember about Madden is when I beat Josh for the first time ever. That was
whenever the younger sibling.
That was really when
that's big.
When I really knew that like Madden was my game. When I beat Josh it was really close to it. It was like on a last second play in like Madden 01.
You always remember your first time. I remember the first time I beat the old man out front in basketball. Yeah. You always remember those first games. Yeah. It was a 2-on-1 affair with my cousin, who, God bless her, can't play to save her life.
And Josh,
so it's kind of 1-on-1.
Josh, being a Buccaneers fan, he used to love to take the Bucs in like Madden '98, and he would do this thing called what we called the loop-de-loop with Mike Allstott, and the computer, the artificial intelligence was so dumb that they would continue to